Ford Mustang V8 1965 vintage. I put this model together this year. Very impressive model. Most impressive to date. I've put together 7 of these over the last few years. This is manufactured by a German company, Franzis, who also have manufactured the Porsche, the Boxer flat 6 engine. The model is made in China. It's made very, very well. In fact, the QA/QC folks must sleep at the factory to make sure they turn out a consistently beautiful product. One impressive thing about this is 1/3 scale, so it is pretty good sized model. It's got a little bit of weight to it also. The first thing I noticed when I took this I opened up the box was the beautiful publication that came with this book. It's 60 pages of the history of the Mustang and the various engines that went in. This is the model here. It's very interesting that I noticed this little gadget right here. Prior to the PCV valve, the engine byproducts used to vent directly into the atmosphere. I think it may have been called a breather pipe. Anyway, that's what you had back then for air pollution control. And there's the engine, and here is the car that is also 1965 Mustang. Who wouldn't want to have that? Anyway, the 60 pages of the book is in a very nicely made book also, full of illustrations, and here it's coming up to more modern times with this. I believe the 5.8 liter engine is detailed in this book also. And here is one of the latest iterations of the Mustang engine. Fortunately, you're not going to have this many parts to put together on the model that you get. The back of the book is very nicely done, verbal and pictorial instructions on how to put this thing together. I didn't have any problem whatsoever with any part of the build. If you know absolutely nothing about an engine, you will put this together if you follow the instructions, and you're also going to understand quite a bit of how these old engines operated. Getting to the model itself, it's a very impressive piece, just sitting there, not operating. Some of the coolest things about this engine, in here, you can actually see how the camshaft drives gears that are rotating the distributor shaft also, which had a rotor inside that contacted the spark plug wires at the beginning of the plugs. The other thing that I really liked about this model is the way they've done the spark plug wires also. A lot of the other models have a pair of wires, and it looks like a rat's nest when you connect them to the engine. Really, I found everything about this thing really to be top shelf. The castings, the major castings of the block are very nicely detailed. Even the plastic really looks to be really high quality. The motor that drives this whole thing, little electric motor, is here inside the alternator housing. Some of the detail on this, take a look at the fan, nicely done. Fuel pump, looking around, nicely detailed rocker arms. The back of the engine, since it doesn't have a bell housing, etc., gives you a very nice view of what's going on there in the bowels of this engine. Really a very, very nicely made piece. Let me just get this running for you. Also, very quiet engine to operate. I disconnect the fake engine sounds in there. I kind of rather just listen to the electric motor. If you take a look in here, you can see quite a bit of what's going on in here. Spark plugs, of course, fire when the piston comes up to top dead center. Very quiet. Water pump. You can see the vanes rotating on there. There's very little, I think, to be desired to enhance this model. Looking through the back of this thing, it's really quite a joy. Look right through the top of the block here. Looking down at the camshaft with the lifters, push rods, and then coming down here. Just really a nice piece. The only thing I changed on the model, I painted the spark plug boots black. They were gray. And I also painted the paper element in the air cleaner white. Aside from that, this is completely stock, this engine. The one thing about it, it's over $200, so unfortunately, you know, that's probably going to eliminate some folks from being able to buy and enjoy this. But aside from that, if you've got $200 and you don't mind spending it on a model, it's really a joy to put together. It's really fun to operate. Incidentally, I don't put any silicone grease or try to polish any of the bearing surfaces. You're not going to run that much. I've never gold a bearing or scored a cylinder on any of these models that I put together. So I'm also concerned if I get grease on my fingers, I'm going to wind up having it all over the clear plastic block. So anyway, there you have it. If you buy it, I assure that you're going to enjoy it. Incidentally, this company is also the same company that has produced the Porsche, and they've done a really nice job on that. It's pretty much the same quality of this model also. Anyway, I hope you got something out of this video, and you take care.